Hi YouTube, this is JJ714 and I was just touched today. I was looking at jsix4evr video about her homeless experience, and that's the letter J, the number 6, or she spelled out the number SIX, and the number 4 EVR. And she did a video about her homeless experience, and let me say, jsix4evr, I realized that that was a very personal recording that you made, and I could almost see you almost reliving it as you talked about it. And it touched my heart in more ways than one, because I have been in a similar situation, and as a matter of fact, as I thought about it today, it was almost really a couple times in my life that I've been in a situation. And that's why, you know, everybody goes through something. Sometimes you pass a person on the street, they may be dressed to the dime, but nobody really knows what happens behind another person's closed doors at night, or even if they have doors. The first time it happened to me, I had got out of the Air Force. I had got a settlement for getting out, because they were actually slashing my career field. They slashed it over half, and the bottom line was, of course, whenever you get money, you know, your friends and your family come out of the woodworks with, you know, can they get loans, can they do this, can they do that? And needless to say, I wouldn't consider myself young. I mean, I was in my early 30s, but I was still at the point in my life that I could not say no to, especially family members or people that I thought was going through. But lo and behold, before I realized it, the money was gone. And I mean, it was not like a half a year. I mean, it may have been like 3 or 4 months. And as soon as the money was gone, then guess what? So was the family members and the friends. And the thing was, I was living in another city where I didn't have family or friends there, but I knew that I didn't have any place to go. So I ended up having to stay with different people. I was blessed that I did have a job, but you know, if some people know, if you're homeless and you have a job, after a while you could end up losing that job. So I felt blessed in a way that you know, I had known people, I met people through church that I was able to stay with, but it was very uncomfortable for me, because one, I'm used to being independent, and it was sort of like when I left home at 18, I just took it upon myself that I was never going to have to fall back on anybody, that I was going to, you know, suck it up, do whatever I have to do, and take care of myself. But needless to say, I ended up relocating after my identical twin sister. She was in the military. I had gotten out, I think, about a year or so before. She was coming from overseas, from Germany, and she was divorced. She had 4 kids. So, you know, family members and friends, they were calling me up, and this was after I had got, you know, settled in my own place. And actually, I may have been living with a girlfriend at the time, but you know, that situation was actually working out for me. And if I had to have hindsight, I would have stayed where I was. But I, you know, really did it because I wanted to try to help the kids. And my sister, we had not been together in a long time. I had been in the military 12 years, and she had gone through a lot of bad experiences. So I wanted to try to be there to help her. And it's funny, because I remember my mother telling me when I was 9 years old, we were 9 actually, and she said that if you continue to take care of your sister, you're going to be taking care of her for the rest of your life. And that part really is true. But long story short, I relocated from the Maryland, Washington, D.C. area down to Columbia, South Carolina. My sister was stationed at Fort Jackson. And I guess because our lifestyles were a little different, I mean, we were similar in some ways, but you know, she had children, I didn't. And at the time, I was really into the church. I wasn't really into dating and all that kind of stuff. I just really wanted to get myself established. And it just seems like we constantly bumped heads for some reason. And the Lord had been telling me I was working for a pretty good company, even though my salary was slashed quite a bit from moving from DC down to South Carolina. But for that area, I was making a pretty decent salary, I guess you would say that, even though I don't think so. But anyway, it was like the Lord had been telling me I really needed to get my own place. But, you know, I felt bad because I wanted to be there for the kids. Lo and behold, one of my sister's friends and Christian friend had basically told my sister, well, your sister should be paying you X amount of dollars because, you know, even though you're living in base housing, you know, she's staying with you and she should be paying you X amount of dollars. Well, I mean, if I could afford my own place, I would have been in my own place. So basically, I ended up getting kicked out of my own sister's house. And I didn't have anywhere to go. My pastor actually helped me get into a hotel. I stayed in a hotel for like 2 or 3 days, and then that got too expensive. And I was actually driving an hour to work and an hour back to where I was living, because the church I was going to at the time was like an hour drive from where I actually worked and where we lived. And so bottom line, I ended up staying with this lady that was in the church. She was real busy in the church, but she was, you know, hoping her husband would come back home. So she really didn't want me there. And I really had to pray and depend on God, because it was like, I was like, Lord, I feel like, you know, I've tried to do right by people. I tried to do right things, but it seems like I always end up getting the bad end of the stick. Well, what happened was the lady called me from work one day, the lady I was living with, and she said that she had contacted this realtor about an apartment and for me to go by and meet her after I got out of work. Well, I didn't know the lady from Adam. She was a white lady. And one moment. Hey, baby. Hey, kitty, let me call you right back. All right, love you. So I didn't know the lady from Adam, but she was really sweet. She ended up, and I met her on a Thursday evening. She gave me a key to the apartment. She took me by the apartment. I looked at the apartment. She gave me the key, and she said, just go ahead and, you know, keep the key until, just, you know, return it, make sure I have it in my lock box by Monday morning. So basically what I did was, and some people can call it foolishness, but I call it just faith. I had put everything, all my trust in God. I had went over, I packed most of all of my stuff that I had, except for maybe an outfit or two. And I put my suitcase in the closet of the house. And I did this between Saturday and Sunday. And I actually spent the night there, I think Sunday night, because I just wanted to see how the neighborhood was and so forth. And actually, a young lady that lived in front of me, she was a Christian. She was a little bit older than me, but she was really sweet. And when I put the key back, I just said, Lord, I said, this is either you or it's not. If it's not you, that means I've lost all my clothes and everything, because my bag is in the house. But lo and behold, the lady, she was so nice. She had me fill an application out. I had to go to my job and ask my boss for paying advancement so that I could put down a deposit on the apartment. I didn't have furniture in the apartment for probably about 2 months, and one of my best girlfriends, she ended up giving me a bedroom set. So I eventually had a bedroom set, but I never got a living room set. And everything sort of worked out. Even though things were turning around for me, God blessed me to meet my husband. And I had been in a terrible car accident, almost died, and this happened like in June. It was June 1st, 1996, and I met my husband in November of 1996. But I just have to say, J6 forever. I'm so grateful that God has worked things out for you and for your daughter. I know how it is when it appears that you're out there by yourself, but know that you're never alone. And that's why, whatever I can do to help somebody when I see that they're really in need. There are times that I see a person, and God can let you know when people are real and when they're not. But there are times that there's a homeless person that I'll see that, I may take the last that I have in my purse and give it to them. Because the word says that we never know if we're entertaining angels unaware. So my thing is that I know what it's like to be a homeless. Never want to be there again, especially with a child. And that's why I said that we really need to be grateful for what we have. There are times that we may feel like we don't have everything that we want, but guess what? If we have what we need, we have everything. So I just wanted to comment on her on her video, because it really touched home for me. And there are so many people in the situation. My husband works for Habitat for Humanity, and they recently went out on on a homeless mission. And he said he met a young lady that apparently she used to work in the same building that I worked at. And my heart went to this lady that she used to come in and wash up on our floor. And some people used to complain about it, but I looked at, nobody knows what her situation was like. So my husband said he wasn't able to get her name, but I just really felt bad, because here was a person who used to have a job, but now they're out on the streets, not by choice. So just realize that a lot of us are really blessed, and we really don't realize it. So start being appreciative for what you got. Peace out. Love you guys.